Hey folks, this is Ron, Arizona Hog Hunters. I'm going to be explaining to you a little bit about the following film that we just took. Um, this is a property that we've had a long-standing history of having pigs operate on for probably 20-something years anyway. Um, we're going to take this walk through here, and you need to know that now this is private property, and I have mentioned once before we don't really hunt on private property, but in this area they have a nature walk, and the property is owned by a mining company, and they've donated this nature walk to the county, the National Forest Service, whoever, and it's really, they did a great job through an area prime habitat for the pigs, for the hogs. And the reason it's so prime, aside from all the vegetation, is there's water. They got a pond in there. They've got all kinds of feed, and it's off limits to hunters. You cannot hunt in this area. Now, why do we spend time looking at this area for pigs? Because it's only about a mile wide and maybe about 4 or 5 miles long. In some parts a little bit wider than that. But the pigs, as I have mentioned previously, they're very intelligent. Over the years, they have learned that they are very safe, relatively safe. Yeah, they still have lions, dog packs, whatever coming in that might present some kind of threat. And that's pretty small because of the location. And the reason we are going to talk about and show you what we're going to show you, that it's still a premier habitat for the pigs, is that hunters, we often recommend to them to hunt on the periphery or the boundaries outside of the private property, either using hog calling techniques or just glassing and waiting for the hogs. They do leave the property looking for food, looking for whatever. In this case, they might be looking for mates. Definitely the song "Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places" comes to mind, because that could be their doom. If they leave the property for whatever reason and our hunters are out there, working the periphery, working the boundaries, then they're going to get their chance to take a hog. And sure, we ask you folks to please like what you're seeing. It helps us. It helps you, because the more successful we are in being able to scout out these pigs and get this information to you is going to make you all more successful in your ventures in hog hunting. Okay, so here we are in the natural habitat of Sus scrofa, aka wild boar. This is the kind of stuff that the pigs love. We've already seen quite a bit of sign going through here, and this is an area that's had a record of a history, so to speak, of the wild boar habitat. But as you can see, this is thick stuff. In the winter time, I kind of like winter. It's not as pretty, but it gives you an idea of the depth of this jungle, this forest of mesquite trees and cat claw, and other southern Arizona vegetation. It's pretty amazing stuff. Now in the summer, spring, summer, and fall, you can't hardly see, but maybe 50 feet at the most off your intended path, because of the foliage. And so in the winter, you get to see the depth of what these animals live in, and it's quite impressive. Pretty amazing stuff. Okay, so a lot of people are having trouble distinguishing the difference between wild boar and javelina, also with deer. And the big difference is when you see a wild boar, it looks a lot like this right here. Okay, if you want to look real close, you got rounded edges at the front and back. Okay, and your two fingers together make it look like a pig. Now a javelina will be more, see if I can do this, and smaller. They're more at an angle, so you got this kind of going in. They're kind of pointed towards the front. Same way with deer, but deer are a little bit longer. Okay, but they have an angle. They go at an angle. Pig are parallel. They're symmetrical to each other. So you got your wild boar, rounded front, rounded back for the most part. Then your javelina, more at an angle and kind of pointed at the front, and deer, but deer are a little bit longer, usually a little larger. Now, if it's wet dirt and it's a big pig, you're going to have dew claws that will have indentations in the dirt behind the track. And these are the claws that when they sink down in, they're up about 3, 4, 5 inches, depending on the size of the hog. We've had some 6 inches. The hogs are so big. But that's what a hog track will look like. Okay? Okay, we have pig scat. And how you know it's pig scat is coyote looks kind of similar, but it'll have hair. All your predators have hair in their poop for the most part. This has got a lot of mesquite bean in it, which the pigs love. Okay, you got tracks over here that are going through. You can't get a real good read on them because of all the foliage, dead limbs and stuff that are caving in on it. That's the first sign. That's not a bad sign. We haven't even been on this trail for 50, 60 yards. Make note of that. Got more. We got a herd. This is a herd. Look at the tracks.